And I call the member for Clark.
Speaker, my question is to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, yesterday's federal budget listed 10 city and regional deals, including, surprise, surprise, the Launceston City deal for the marginal electorate of Bass. But there was no mention of the Hobart City deal, which was announced with much fanfare 2 years ago and which has seen little action beyond the $30 million social housing package I negotiated. Prime Minister, remember the Hobart deal promises the Antarctic precinct at Mac Point, activation of the rail corridor and to address Hobart's terrible traffic congestion and housing crisis. So when is the government going to deliver these vital initiatives for Tasmania's capital, or don't they pass the pork barrelling test? No wonder the public detests politics and politicians.
The Prime Minister has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The member for Clark can speak for himself, Mr Speaker. But I thank the member for Clark for his question. I was in Hobart with the former Tasmanian Premier Will Hodgman in February of 2019, where we announced that deal, Mr Speaker, with around $1.7 billion in investment. We also expect that deal to create over 1,400 jobs. And before I hand over to the minister responsible, Mr Speaker, let me update you on a couple of things. Design work on the replacement of the Bridgewater Bridge is continuing. We expect the Commonwealth investment in this project will be some $461 million, and we anticipate works will begin on that, Mr Speaker, next year. Direct flights from Hobart to Auckland on 22nd of April 2021. They were recommenced for the first time since 1996, and Air New Zealand is now flying the service twice a week into Hobart, Mr Speaker. 48 properties have already been tenanted through the $30 million investment to deliver at least 100 new dwellings in the Greater Hobart region in partnership with community housing providers. I know a topic that the member is keenly interested in and played a key role in when we formed this deal. And City Deal partners are considering the findings of a study of potential transport solutions to the Northern Suburbs Transit Corridor, which will help to identify the most economic and efficient option. I'll ask the minister to add further to the answer.
The minister has the call.
I thank the member for his question. I thank the Prime Minister for the opportunity to add to his answer. Certainly the Morrison government is very focused on the Hobart City deal. As the Prime Minister mentioned, one of the elements of the City deal is the $82.3 million commitment for the provision of border services to allow international flights to come into Hobart Airport. So I was very pleased to be able to represent the Morrison government on the 22nd of April this year, to be at the Hobart Airport to welcome the first international flight coming in from Auckland. In other words, a key element of the City deal being delivered. Now, another element of the City deal, as the member rightly refers to, and indeed had some important involvement in, is affordable housing, a $30 million commitment to affordable housing. I was very pleased to have the chance to visit a group of houses which have been built under that program recently. I visited Kathleen Moore, who resides in one of those homes. She thanked the government for her new home, and she made the point that her rent was previously 80% of her pension, and now, thanks to these new housing arrangements, is 25% of her pension. Of course, as the Prime Minister's rightly said, Bridgewater Bridge, a major component of the Hobart City deal, and work well advanced on that. And of course, in relation to the Antarctic Science Precinct and Macquarie Point, a detailed business case presently being developed and very extensive engagement with stakeholders, and I've been pleased to have discussions with the State Minister, with the relevant council mayors and other stakeholders on these projects.
The minister's time has concluded.